Welcome to our cozy English corner again. I'm really happy you're here with us today. George is already sitting there with his tea, pretending he's very serious.
I am serious. This tea is important business. But honestly, it's really nice to be back. I always enjoy these quiet moments before we really get into talking.
Yeah, there's something about this studio, right? It feels safe, like you can slow down a little. And I think that's perfect for what we're talking about today. Everyday English, real conversations, the kind you actually use.
Exactly. Not English from textbooks that sounds, well, a bit stiff, but the English people use when they're tired or curious or just trying to get through a normal day.
Or when they're standing in line for coffee and suddenly forget how to speak any language at all.
Oh, yes, that moment when your brain just freezes and you say something like, coffee, yes, please, human.
That's so real. And honestly, that's why listening practice is so important. You don't just learn words, you learn rhythm, hesitation, those tiny pauses.
And confidence. When you hear natural conversations again and again, your mind starts to think, okay, I've heard this before. I know how this feels.
By the way, if you enjoy natural English conversations like this, don't forget to subscribe. It really helps us keep creating for you.
It really does, and we appreciate every listener, wherever you're listening from right now.
So, George, let me ask you something simple. What does a normal day look like for you lately?
Well, I wake up, usually a bit earlier than I want to. I lie there for a moment, telling myself I'll get up in 5 minutes. That 5 minutes becomes 10.
Always 10, never 5.
Always. Then I make coffee, stand by the window, and just look outside. I don't check my phone right away. I try to ease into the day, you know?
I love that. Easing into the day. That's such a good phrase. Many people feel they have to rush from the second they open their eyes.
True. But when I don't rush, my English and my thinking feels clearer. Even simple conversations go better.
That's interesting. So your mood affects how you speak.
Absolutely. When I'm relaxed, I don't worry so much about being perfect. I just try to get my point across.
Oh, that's a great expression. And it's so important for learners. You don't need perfect grammar to get your point across.
Exactly. People aren't grading you, they're just listening. Most of the time.
Most of the time, yes. For me, daily conversations are very emotional. Like, even saying, "How are you?" can feel different depending on the day.
That's true. Sometimes how are you means hello. Other times it really means I care.
And learning that difference is huge. It's not written in dictionaries.
No, it's felt. And listening helps you feel it. You start to notice tone, speed, little sounds like or you know.
My favorite is well, because it can mean so many things.
Yes, well can mean I disagree, or I'm thinking, or this might be awkward.
Or all three at the same time. Do you remember a time when a simple conversation went wrong because of misunderstanding?
Oh, yes. Once someone asked me, "Do you mind if I open the window?" And I said, "Yes."
Oh no.
Exactly. I meant, "Yes, I mind." But they thought I meant, "Yes, go ahead." The window opened. I froze.
That's such a classic moment.
And that's when I learned the power of phrases like "go ahead" or "I'd rather you didn't." Clear and kind.
And very human. Many listeners tell us they understand English, but when it's time to speak, they hesitate.
That hesitation is normal. It doesn't mean you're bad at English. It means you care.
Yes, and daily conversations are the best place to practice because the stakes are low.
Exactly. You're not giving a speech. You're just talking about weather, food, work, feelings.
Complaining a little.
Complaining is very advanced English.
True. And bonding. I think daily English is also about listening without panic, not translating every word in your head.
Yes, let the words pass through you. You don't need to catch everything to understand the feeling.
Like music.
Exactly like music.
So, if someone wants to improve their listening, what would you suggest they do every day?
I'd say listen to short, real conversations. Not too fast, not too perfect. And don't rewind too much, just let it play.
Let yourself be a little uncomfortable.
Yes, growth lives there. And remember, you're allowed to not understand everything right away.
Another great expression. I also think it helps to imagine yourself inside the conversation, sitting with us.
You're not an outsider, you're part of it.
Exactly. There's also culture in daily conversations, like how much people talk about work or feelings or personal space.
Yes, and silence too. Silence means different things in different cultures.
In some places, silence is awkward. In others, it's comfortable.
And English allows for both.
I want listeners to know that sounding natural doesn't mean sounding like a native speaker.
It means sounding like yourself in English.
That's beautiful. Let's slow down for a moment. Imagine you're listening while walking or sitting on a bus. You don't need to do anything else.
Just listen. Let the language wash over you.
We'll continue this conversation and go deeper into daily situations next time.
Small talk, deeper talk, even awkward talk.
Especially awkward talk. Let's pause here for today. We'll pick this up smoothly, I promise.
Nothing rushed, just one conversation flowing into the next.
So we're still here, still sitting in the same cozy space, and it feels like the conversation is just breathing on its own.
Yeah, that's the nice thing about real conversations. You don't force them, you let them unfold.
Exactly. And today, unfolding is kind of the theme. Daily life English doesn't come in perfect packages. It comes in pieces.
Fragments, even. Half-finished sentences, thoughts that change in the middle.
Like when you start a sentence and then say, actually, never mind.
A very honest phrase.
I notice that learners often think they must finish every sentence perfectly.
Yes, but native speakers don't do that, not even close. We interrupt ourselves all the time.
All the time, especially when emotions are involved.
That's why listening to real conversations matters. You hear that it's okay to pause, to correct yourself, to say, wait, that's not what I mean.
And that phrase right there, that's not what I mean, it saves so many conversations.
It really does. It gives you space to breathe.
Let's talk about small talk for a moment. People either love it or hate it.
Or pretend they hate it, but secretly rely on it.
That's very true. Small talk is like the door. You don't live in the doorway, but you need it to enter the house.
Nicely said. And in English, small talk often starts with safe topics. Weather, plans, food.
Always food.
Food is universal. If all else fails, talk about food.
Curious, what's a simple phrase you hear every day that learners often misunderstand?
Maybe we should do this sometime.
Oh, yes, that one hurts a little.
Because sometimes it means I genuinely want to, and sometimes it just means this conversation is ending politely.
And the tone tells you everything.
Exactly. Words matter, but tone matters more.
Daily conversations are full of these soft signals.
That's why listening practice isn't about memorizing phrases. It's about noticing patterns.
Like how people hesitate before saying something difficult.
Or how their voice lifts when they're being friendly, even if the words are neutral.
I want to talk about mistakes for a second.
Important topic.
Mistakes in daily conversation are not failures. They're signals that you're actually using the language.
If you never make mistakes, you're probably not speaking enough.
Exactly. I once said, I'm boring when I meant I'm bored.
That's a classic.
The other person just nodded like, okay, thanks for sharing.
But you survived and you learned.
And now it's a story. Another thing about daily English, people don't always listen carefully.
Very true.
So if someone misunderstands you, it's not always your English.
Sometimes it's just life.
That's why phrases like, you know what I mean, are so useful.
Or let me put it this way.
They help you slow the conversation down.
And they invite the other person to stay with you.
What about listening when you're tired?
That's actually very realistic practice. Real life doesn't wait until you're fully awake and motivated.
Sadly, no.
So listening when you're tired trains you to catch the main idea, not every detail.
That's a great skill. Sometimes learners say, I understand podcasts, but real people speak differently.
That's because real people don't speak clearly on purpose.
They swallow words, change direction, mumble.
Exactly. And that's okay. You're training your ear to handle that.
Daily conversations also include emotions we don't expect.
Yes, someone might sound annoyed when they're just tired, or quiet when they're thinking.
Listening helps you not take everything personally.
Very important life skill, not just language.
I like to imagine our listeners sitting quietly, just letting these voices exist around them.
No pressure, no test at the end.
Just presence. Daily English is built from moments like this: calm, imperfect, real.
And every moment you listen, something small sticks, even if you don't notice it yet.
Smiles. We'll keep going soon and bring this to a gentle close.
The conversation still has a little more to say.
It really does. And I think this last part feels a bit like the end of a long walk. You're not rushing home, but you can see the lights already.
That's a nice image. A walk where you've talked about simple things, but somehow they feel important by the end.
Smiles. Exactly. Because daily conversations are simple on the surface, but they carry so much underneath.
Mood, history, culture, personality, all hidden inside very ordinary words.
You know, people often ask, when will I feel comfortable in English?
And the honest answer is slowly.
Smiles. Yes. Not one big moment, more like many small ones.
One day you answer without translating, another day you understand a joke, another day you don't panic when you don't understand.
Smiles. That one is huge. I remember the first time I didn't feel embarrassed asking someone to repeat themselves.
Smiling, that's growth right there.
Because saying, sorry, could you say that again, is not weakness, it's confidence.
Agreeing, absolutely. And it's very normal in English-speaking cultures.
There's also something very human about admitting you didn't catch something.
It makes the conversation more equal.
Smiles. Less performance, more connection. I think daily English teaches patience.
With yourself, especially.
Yes, you stop expecting instant results.
And you start trusting the process, listening, absorbing, repeating, without forcing it.
Curious, do you think tradition matters in language learning?
I do. Old habits like listening carefully, repeating out loud, having real conversations, they still work.
Smiles, even with all the new apps and technology.
Kind irony, especially with them. Tools change, but the human brain hasn't that much.
Smiles, true. At the same time, it's okay to learn in your own way.
Of course, innovation matters too. Podcasts like this didn't exist before.
Smiles, and now you can carry voices in your pocket.
That's kind of magical if you think about it.
Soft pause. There's a cultural side to daily English I really love.
Tell me.
Warm. The politeness, not formal politeness, but small kindnesses. Take care. No worries. That's okay.
Reflective. Yes, those phrases soften life a little.
Smiles. And they're everywhere. Even when people disagree, they often try to keep things calm.
Indirect language, softer tones.
It's not fake, it's protective.
It helps people live close together without constant conflict.
For learners, this can feel confusing at first.
Because maybe sometimes means no.
And I'll think about it sometimes means I already decided.
Exactly.
Listening over time helps you feel those meanings, not just understand them. That's why we don't rush these conversations.
We let them be a bit slow, a bit imperfect.
Like real life. What about you listening right now? Where are you?
Are you walking, sitting, lying down?
Whatever you're doing enough just by listening. This is also why we repeat ideas sometimes,
Not because you didn't understand.
but because repetition builds comfort.
And comfort builds fluency.
We're getting close to the end now.
And that's okay. Conversations don't have to end sharply.
They can fade out softly. Before we go, I want to say this.
Go on.
Daily English is not about sounding impressive. It's about being understood and understanding others.
And about showing up again and again, even when you feel unsure.
What about you? Tell us in the comments. We'd love to hear your thoughts.
Really, your experiences matter.
And now it feels like the right moment to say goodbye.
Always the hardest part.
Thanks for being part of our little English journey.
Wherever you are, have a wonderful day.